The moment you show anger, defense, or an instinct to justify yourself, you lose. To a master manipulator, your emotional reaction is a signed confession. It tells them exactly where your boundaries are weak and how to break you. They don't want a logical argument. They want psychological ownership. And every time you respond to their provocations, you hand them the keys to your mind. But there is a rare, high-status protocol that completely breaks their machinery. In elite behavioral defense, it is known as being immovable. It means you stop acting like a target. You stop deflecting the attack. Instead, you meet their aggression with a cold, absolute vacuum of data. You stand completely still, your face frozen, your emotions dead. When you apply this protocol, you don't fight, you don't explain. You simply look through them as if they don't exist. And in that exact second, their calculated strategy turns into pure panic. Their brain cannot process a total lack of feedback. They start over-talking, exposing their own hidden motives and destroying their own status in front of everyone. You didn't break their game. You out-calculated it. Today, we break down the 3 cold adjustments that turn you into a mental fortress, leaving any predator utterly powerless. Watch closely. To build a mental fortress, you must first understand the fuel that drives every psychological predator. In behavioral science, manipulation is a feedback loop. A predator does not launch an attack into empty space. They hit you to see where it hurts. Every flinch, every defensive answer, and every look of anxiety in your eyes is fresh data for their next move. They don't just need your submission. They need your emotional participation. When you understand this math, you realize that your defense is actually their target. Your attempt to justify yourself is the very bridge they use to cross your borders. The immovable mindset deletes the bridge entirely. It is based on the law of strategic emptiness. You do not absorb the blow, and you do not fight the predator. You simply close the laboratory. You stop providing the raw material they need to calculate their strategy. A normal fortress relies on thick walls to stop the impact. A mental fortress is dangerous because it leaves nothing for the impact to hit. They throw their weapon into a total void. And when a predator receives zero feedback, their entire simulation of control collapses from within. The first adjustment to activate your fortress is the immediate termination of microsignals. When an aggressive personality tests your borders through an insult, a subtle jab, or a passive-aggressive setup, your body naturally wants to signal distress. A sharp breath, a quick blink, a defensive shift in your posture. The immovable mind executes a total shutdown of these data lines. In behavioral intelligence, this is called the dead feedback. The moment the provocation hits, you freeze the machinery. Your spine locks into absolute alignment. Your breathing rhythm drops into a slow, heavy internal cycle. You do not smile to soften the tension. You do not scowl to show anger. Your face becomes a solid, expressionless sheet of ice. Look directly at the bridge of their nose. Not into their pupils. Look at the bone between their eyes. It projects an alpha detachment that makes them feel entirely unseen. Hold that exact posture for 3 seconds of dead silence after they finish speaking. You are not processing their words. You are letting their attack evaporate into the vacuum. By refusing to provide a single microsignal, you break the prediction algorithm in their brain. They expected an emotional target. Instead, they hit an empty wall. The second adjustment to secure your fortress is the total destruction of their context. A predator wants to trap you inside their narrative. They ask a loaded question or deliver an insult, explicitly to force you into a position where you must defend your character. If you answer their question, you accept their court. The immovable mind executes a cold context hijack. You do not engage with the content of their attack. Instead, you turn your focus entirely onto the mechanics of their behavior. After executing the 3 seconds of dead silence, look them in the eyes and ask one calculated, clinical question. Are you having a difficult day? Or what exactly are you trying to accomplish with that statement? Look at the mathematics of this pivot. You did not get angry. You did not get defensive. You completely stepped out of their trap and forced them to defend themselves. You took the spotlight off your character and placed it directly onto their psychological instability. You are no longer a target. You are a cold behavioral scientist, examining a broken simulation. True mastery in a psychological war requires zero noise. You don't need to scream. You don't need to prove your character to people who are actively trying to destroy it. You simply need to close the laboratory, execute the dead feedback, and hijack their context. When you master the operational mathematics of the mental fortress, you become an unshakable anomaly. You stand completely still, outside of their control, while their own aggression locks the cage from the inside. Now that you know how to build this internal armor, you are ready to face the most dangerous tactical threat on the market. Because sometimes, a predator doesn't attack you in the open. They mask their control behind a perfect, flawless smile and strategic kindness. Click on the video appearing on your screen right now to discover the hidden mechanics of the covert Machiavellian and learn how to drop the ultimate validation strike before they make their next move. I'll see you there.